welcome to the after show. Ladies and gentlemen, just because you're black does not mean that you can't enjoy yourself a good white person on a horse.
Listen,
Leroy is into westerns.
Oh my God, I think I'm gonna check out
Pebbles,
here.
you can't. It's the equivalent of how you feel about BTS and people who are kind of dismissive about it. And it's like, wait a minute, you don't know the impact that this is happening.
I'm not dismissing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I might remove myself from the conversation because I have nothing to add to this. So you all enjoy.
Maybe Leroy can talk you into watching.
No.
He's watching. He's watching the Taylor Sheridan, who, by the way, is my Hollywood man crush. He's watching the Taylor Sheridan universe, which is Yellowstone, 1923 and 1883. But Leroy is watching it in order. He released Yellowstone first, then I think it was 1883 or 1920. I forget. But Leroy's watching it in order chronologically. So he's watching 1883 so he can figure out why in Yellowstone they are so into protecting their land.
I felt this way. The last time I felt this way was about The Wire, where I just couldn't wait for the next episode to come on. A lot of people felt this way about Game of Thrones. Oh, just can't wait. The Walking Dead. I can't believe I am into technically Westerns now. Yeah. And I just can't wait. It is comforting. The pace of everything, it's a slow pace. It's quiet, but then it gets loud. It gets crazy. Pebbles, there are love stories that I'm invested in. Pebbles, there's love stories I'm invested in.
Okay.
So when you get into your K-dramas, what is it that invests you into it? Because I have a whole theory on all those shows you just said.
Right.
What is it that when you get into a good K-drama that
it's just good storytelling.
Yep.
Great, phenomenal acting.
Yep.
The music. I mean, the messages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are probably the biggest reasons.
Do you at any point put yourself in that situation and go kind of like, how would I react in this situation? If this character was me or if I was in that universe?
Not really.
Really? Because
not really.
It's
just an escape.
That's 1,000,000% the reason why all those shows you named, that I get into them, because I'm like, how would I act if I was in Westeros for the Game of Thrones? How would I act in the zombie apocalypse? How would I be able to survive just the frontier, the traveling?
I know.
Like the Oregon Trail.
Yes, which is true. And for me, I love history. Man, you should be there when Tina and I are watching these shows. Oh, we pause so many times. And I start telling her about, well, they're saying this because of this and because of that and because of this. And she gets excited. She literally, she grabbed my hand last night in the middle of me saying something. And she was like, you should be a teacher. She was like, the way you go into about stuff, it made her excited. And she was just like, I got to learn more about this. And that's what those shows for me, like you said, the Oregon Trail, it's like, man, it almost feels like you're there and you're a part of it. And again, I just never thought I would be into a Westerns like this. My mother would talk about Westerns. My grandfather definitely talked about Western shows. And I can remember being a little kid and walking into my grandfather's house, a black and white TV's on, and it's a Western. There's not a lot of noise. It's very, very quiet. And there's like great dialogue and conversation going on. But I looked at it as, well, this really isn't for me. But now I think to some degree, I understand why him and his generation, my mother, like why they love it so much. My mother still watches
Bonanza.
No. What's the one?
Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
I used to always watch.
My father's into all those.
Oh my God! And when I go over to my mother's house now and she has it on, I'm forced to sit and watch it, and the level of appreciation for those shows is through the roof. And Pebbles, I'm telling you, these new shows, of course, yes, they've upgraded things, technology and all that stuff, but it gives you that feeling.
I believe you.
Oh
I don't disagree with you. I just have so little interest in it, and that's fine. It's just not my thing. But I'm not saying you're lying.
Oh no!
But I will say, like, the comfort thing about shows and the slow burn of shows, I think, is lost. So if that's part of it, I get that because I have a much more appreciation. And again, you asked about K-dramas. It's like a lot of times it's a slow burn in the shows, and it's like it lets you breathe in a world where it's like everything's go 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 go, and it's like
You know where else there's a slow burn and people want to laugh about it?
Hallmark Channel.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Slow
That's
burn,
why I used to watch that.
Hallmark Channel.
Oh my God.
It's like you'd watch and the romance is like slow too. Like if there's a 16 episode of a K-drama, they may not kiss until that 16th episode.
Wow.
But it's like the build up.
That's what's up.
All through the whole thing.
Yeah, slow burn when done right. I'm telling you, the 1883 is fantastic. Have you gotten to the part where they have to cross the river?
Yeah.
They did a whole episode on just like crossing a river.
And it was intense. And it's just like,
crazy.
It was intense. And then because I'm assuming that they're pulling from actual historical events and things that happened, it's just like, man, no, there were people who didn't know how to swim. And they would get into a river where they probably could technically just stand up, but they would panic and lose their lives. And it's just like, man, it's extremely humbling. It feels like you're getting a glimpse into the past, even though you know it's not. And again, Pebbles, for about 2 weeks now, you've been saying some really, like, you've been the slow burn. That's what it is, man. It's the slow burn.
I love the slow burn.
You know what's so funny about people panicking? When we were in Puerto Rico, we did so Puerto Rico has like 3 or 4 locations where, like bioluminescence, like in the water, kind of like think like Avatar when you stick your hand in the water and it lights up. They probably have like 3 or 4 locations where
really?
All year long. Yeah. So we went to one of them, my wife and I, and it was funny because the way you had to do it was you had to go in a canoe or kayak. I always forget the difference between those. But anyway, 2-person, you have to line up, you follow them through like this little lagoon, and then you go out into the open water. And it's probably about a group of like 10 canoes. So in the beginning, they give you the whole paddling, if you want.
2 oars or 1 like paddle?
2.
So like then that's a canoe.
That's a canoe?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 1 person in the front has it, 1 in the back. So they're like, you want to paddle.
No. Are there like
No, so it's 2
Is
person.
it 2 separate? Like is 1 person using 2
No. So it's like it was Nicole in the front, me in the back. I had a paddle, she had a paddle.
Okay, that's a kayak.
Okay, so it's a kayak. So yeah, we had to do it like simultaneous to like both of us kind of stroke at the same time.
But wait, see, now you're confusing me because now you're like doing one's on the right and one's on the left. That's a canoe.
So you'd go like this and like this. Like if you wanted to turn right, you'd stroke on the left. If you wanted to turn left, stroke on the right. But it wasn't one of these.
Was it one? I have to clear this up. Was it 1 pole with 2 things?
No, 1 pole with 1 thing.
Okay, that's a canoe.
Okay, yeah.
We're back to canoe. Okay.
So,
I had to, I'm sorry. I know
good questions because they were giving us the whole rundown on how to do it. And there was a couple there. And the gentleman, when he got there, who you have to like go through the rundown, sign the forms or whatever, he seemed very like tight and uptight. And his girlfriend was like a little bubbly, I'll say. I won't say ditzy. I'll say bubbly. She's like, guys, this is going to be a good night to see this. And they were like, yeah, it's a great night. It rains and it's a great night to see this or whatever. And the dude finally looks at her and he goes, sign the form. Like he was freaking out. And I was like, yo, this guy's kind of a dick. But then once they got into their canoe, I realized why he was so uptight. So again, we're supposed to follow each other. If you want to go right, you paddle on the left. You want to go left, you paddle on the right. Pretty easy to follow. Even if like you didn't hear those instructions, you figure it out once you get in and you want to turn. So we start off and we're supposed to go We go straight and then turn right into the lagoon. Mm-hmm. We turn right. Everybody in front of us turns right. All of a sudden I hear, slam. The girl was paddling the wrong way and they slammed into a pier and almost fell out of their boat. This was like 3 minutes into the thing. So now literally the whole ride through the lagoon and stuff, it was twists and turns. It was consistently, hold up, wait for the people in the back. And it was always like that poor guy. And I'm like, damn, now I understand why he was so uptight. Wow. She sucks. So anyway, at no point though was the water deeper than 5 feet. Mm-hmm. Like if you fell out, you could have stood up and been good. But most of the time it was less than, like there was times where I was paddling and I would hit the ground. Oh wow. Like in the water. That's how shallow the water was. So at one point we go out there, we see the bioluminescence. We're coming back through the lagoon, paddling back, and there's another group paddling to go out. Going back to your panic story. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden you hear splash and you look and one of the canoes turned over. Ooh. And 2 women were in the water. And we all had life jackets. One of the women, if you could have seen this, the water's like up to here. She acting like she's dying, right? Like she's getting pulled under by a shark. Literally, the instructor goes, "Ma'am, stand up." She stood up. The water was up to her knees. I'm
come on.
She was panicking. Yeah. I'm like, she must have been sitting on her ass and she didn't realize that she was safe. You would have thought that she was like getting legit, like a shark was pulling her down. And he didn't say it. He didn't scream it or anything. He literally just stood up and goes, "Ma'am, stand up." Yeah. And she gets up and the water's down to here. Yep. People sometimes in bad situations like that, they panic.
And these shows feel extremely grounded in some sort of reality. Not 100%. I still am not a fan of or tornado hitting and the one of the main characters and the Native American man kiss in the middle of a tornado. I was like, all right, that's where I was like, don't do that. They kind of ruined it for me. But besides that, very, very, like, it just feels real. Yeah. And as a black man, I have to say this, part of my hesitation and wanting to watch these Westerns is I'm always concerned about how we are represented and if we're even represented at all. These shows have done a really good job. Yeah. And they've done it in a way where, without giving anything away. So let's say 1883, that show, Civil War's over. There's a black man who is he's a huge piece to this whole thing, and he's a part of it. And it's just done tastefully, so you don't get this idea like he's the head guy in charge and running everything. But you do see like he's a partner, but you know that there's still some tension in the world, and they even have some things that they talk about, and it feels respectful yet real to the point where I can tolerate it. And I just great job. Landman, oh my God.
Yeah, great show. What's funny is once you start watching all of them in Yellowstone, like you'll see stuff that a modern day person would be like, oh my God, how are they living like that or whatever. But in the show, they'll drop little references to like, this is fucking nothing. It used to be this way. So then you watch 1923 and those little references that they're dropping about how tough it used to be to live out there, you're kind of seeing it. But on that show, they're like, this is nothing. It used to be, and kind of like references to 1883 of like the only they do a good job of making it realistic. I still think that they need to ugly the women up a little more because they're in these wagons going across. And some of the women, like the main character, the girl, I'm like, she's really, really pretty.
Yeah. They always keep her together.
Yeah, I'm like, where do you have time to get yourself that together?
Where her mother is, she'll have scratches and bruises
Faith Hill
and dirt.
Is a little more realistic, but they kept her looking good. The other ones, they did a good job of kind of dirtying them up a little bit, considering they were attractive women. But just wait.
Yeah. And even with the guys, like I love that their beards are grown out. And it's not, lined up. They don't have great, perfect haircuts and all that stuff. They look like they are straight up from that time period. And it's great television.
Girl, Taylor Sheridan, man.
Great television.
My boy knows his stuff. Wait until you see Yellowstone and see his character. He saved the best character for himself. Because in real life, he owns a ranch. He owns the look it up, the 3/6 in Texas.
There's only been one issue that's come from these shows for me. Now Tina's talking about she want to go live on a ranch, and
I've seen her post.
I'm like, Tina, you get scared of bugs in the house, and you talking about you ready to go live. And she's like, don't you want to just work the land and deal with? I'm like, I'll be fine, but you don't want to do that. She's getting caught up in these shows. She loves it too. She's romanticizing it, but still great.
I'll say it to my wife and be like, let's like buy a house in Montana and we'll go there for vacation. And by the way, billionaires are buying houses in Montana like crazy lately, and I swear to God it's because of Yellowstone.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
It's got to be.
But yeah, I always say that to her, and then I go, but if we order something through Amazon, how long do you think it's going to take to get there?
Can I mention one more thing about these shows that it has me really I already felt this way, but in real life I'm just like, man, simplicity is really where it's at. Like living in a city or near a city, just the constant running and hustling, trying to maintain a decent life within the city. It's just like, you look at these shows and it's like, man, it seems as though they're just trying to maintain a roof over their head. They got to eat. They go out there, they get it. They need some clothes. They use the same animal they just hunted to build. It just seems, I know it's hard work, but it's just, I don't want to say simple, but it makes sense. I can't think of the best way to say it. It just, everything has a reason and a purpose.
Yeah. You don't have time to go on a phone and waste your time.
Right.
Because you got to do stuff to survive. And
right.
Yeah.
You eat because you're hungry.
Let's do it, Leroy. Let's move. Me and you.
Okay.
Brokeback Mountain.
No.
2026.
God.
Shut up.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.